take you through this decision-making section of our hospitality simulation. The first page that we find here is the tutorial page, and in this section we have some suggested steps, and then we have this video available here as well. And then next page is the Outlook page, where we first of all we should read this market outlook, which gives some information about what is happening in the operating environment. Then also it is very useful to take a look at these percentages, because here we can see what kind of change we expect in the different products or services compared to the previous round. One round in the simulation equals 2 weeks. So what you see here then is the change compared to the round before, and your expected sales for this round. So when you make your sales estimations, then having this information at hand can be helpful. Then we have some of the workload parameters here, and then different cost parameters at the bottom. On the desk, we start the actual decision making. Now, it is possible that this simulation is given to you as it is now, including the hotel operation and the food and beverage operation, or you may also only be seeing the hotel room operation, or you may only be seeing the food and beverage operation. So in this introduction, we go through the entire simulation, but if you only see the rooms operation without the restaurant, then it means that your instructor has decided to use only that section of the simulation. If you only see the food and beverage operation without the rooms operation, then it means that this is your decision by your instructor. Also, breakfast module here is optional, so in some cases you may or may not see the breakfast section here, depending on what your instructor has selected. Now at the front desk, we start with the revenue management decisions, and we do this for 3 different periods. We have the current round, we have next round, and we have round after next. And for each of these periods, we have different products. We have, for the current round, last minute walk-in and business rate. And then in these white cells, we make a decision about the room rate. And in the blue cells, we make an estimation about how much we expect to sell this particular product this round. So here we are looking at the last minute at 100 euros or dollars a night, and estimated sales is 180, which represents 18% increase to the round before. So these percentages always give you an indication about the difference compared to the previous round. And as mentioned, each round equals a 2-week period. So this current round represents the current 2-week period for which we are doing the planning. For next round, we then have different products. We have a regular rate, and the round after next, we have what we call early bird rate. And these decisions are always done separately for the weekdays and for the weekends. And the weekdays are from Monday till Thursday, and weekends from Friday until Sunday. We can also find some promotion decisions here. So if we click any of these titles, we get to the page that gives us more details about the particular promotion campaigns. Currently, we have this business customer promotion selected. We can see what we can expect as a benefit, and then we can see what is it gonna cost for us. And this we can decide on round by round basis the way that we want. On the right-hand side, we do the front desk staffing, and the first decision is about the desk manager focus. So she or he can be assigned for different tasks, and then when we click something, then we get to see the description here, and then it is your task to decide what should be the particular focus for the round. Staffing decisions are done here, and we have 3 different types of resources. We have the permanent resources and we have the temporary resources. Now, these are the ones for which we make a specific decision, and then if we don't have enough to handle the workload, then the flexibles will be automatically hired to take care of the activities. And at the moment, we are looking at these 2 permanents and 1 temporary, and then we have a small need for a flexible resource. If we don't want to use the flexibles, then we could add a little bit of temporary and that takes care of the entire need. And again, these decisions are done separately for the weekdays and for the weekends. Now you also find this projections tab here, and if you click now this hotel projections, then you have access to this kind of table that allows you to play with the estimations and the prices. So the pages are linked. So if you change something here, the same information is going to be changed on the front desk page. But here the purpose is that you are able to actually do some scenarios on the room's operation profitability. Currently, we are looking at 25,778. Now, if I have to cut my last minute booking rate from 100 to, let's say, 75 to maintain the same level of occupancy, then that's going to take about $4,000 away from my profitability. Next, I'm going to move on to the breakfast section. And here now, if this is included, I make a decision about pricing. Then I make an estimation about how many of the guests will be eating the breakfast. So this can be anything between 100 and 0. But if I now drop this to more reasonable figures, 65, then I can decide what is the breakfast quality level, basic, standard, or deluxe. And then on the right-hand side, I can decide the staffing for my breakfast. And the staffing is dependent, obviously, on the number of guests, but it is also dependent on the level, or on the service level. So now you see when I change these, then my staffing charts are changing at the same time. So I'm starting to see a fair amount of unsatisfied demand with this kind of sales estimation and this level of service. So then I would need to change my staffing. But on the other hand, if I just offer basic service, then it seems that I'm quite well capable of handling my service needs on the breakfast side with the staff that I have in my list at the moment. Obviously, I can also reduce the staff or increase the staff if need be. Now I'm going to be moving to the restaurant operation, and here now we first of all decide the menu. We have 4 menu items for which we can decide what we do. We have different options here. We have vegetable, chicken, beef tenderloin, and these are fresh, frozen, and then pre-processed. So you decide which type of ingredients you use. Then you decide the serving style, and then you decide the preparation detail. And then you decide the price, and then you estimate the number of dishes sold. And these are done for each of the dishes separately. So here I have $5.60 for my Greek salad, and then I have estimated that during this period I'm going to be selling 500 dishes of that. Now at the bottom here I also make a decision about the beverages. So I estimate how many beverages on average per customer, and then I make a decision about what is my beverage margin. I can also select from different beverage categories or beverage selections. We have a short one, we have typical, wide, and parade. And here on the right hand side, we can see what's going to be the cost for that particular selection. At the bottom right here, we can then see a summary. Here we have total customers 2,000, which comes from the total of these dishes. We assume that each customer will eat one dish in this scenario. And then we can see what is the average sales per customer for food and beverages, and then the total sales and total sales for the food and total sales for the beverages. So that gives us the high-level information about our sales. But again, if we click these projections, then we can click restaurant projections, and here we have this kind of like menu engineering type of table where we can see more details. We can see what are the material costs for each of the dishes. We can see how much cook work needs to be allocated for the dish, and then we can see the profitability calculation all the way to the margin per dish. So it seems that our chicken soup classic is not making money in our current menu or portfolio, so we should do something about it. All the other dishes seem to be bringing some kind of revenue, but keep in mind that these are now all based on your estimations. The simulation is competitive, so whatever you decide has an impact on the competitors, and the competitors' decisions have impact on you, so you will not be able to know for sure how many dishes you sell. I'm going to close the restaurant projections now, and then I go back to the restaurant page to show some additional details. We can also decide the table arrangement. We have different options, tight, cozy, and roomy. The next one is the food preparation section, where we can see the workload in our kitchen. And this dial is telling us how busy is our kitchen. So when we are starting to look at near 100% workloads, it means that our customers will start experiencing delays in dishes. So we can influence these workloads by hiring more cooks. And if I want to get out of this red zone, but I'm just going to increase my permanent, and now I'm dropping to the yellow zone. The closer we get to 100%, the higher are the queues and the less happy are our customers. Finally, we can also make then the decision about what is the restaurant manager's focus. Again, we have 5 options available here, and the description is given below. And the last tab under the restaurant section is the ingredients tab, where we are able to see how much ingredients we need to buy based on our sales estimations and our menu selections. And then we can see the overall profitability. So it seems that our margin from our food and beverage operation is now 66% overall. Next, we're going to be moving on to the housekeeping section. And here under housekeeping, we make a decision about what level of housekeeping we want to maintain in our hotel. And this obviously has to be aligned with the overall quality level of the hotel. So we have between acceptable and luxurious that we can choose from. And then instead of any flexible workflows for the housekeeping, we are using an outsourcing firm. And for them, we also have 5 different options, and the costs and outcomes are described below. Here on the right-hand side, we make a decision about the head housekeeper focus from 5 different options. Then we have the housekeeping staffing button, and here we can then see what is the workload and how we handle the required workload. And changes again can be made to permanent and temporary employees. We can choose one or multiple housekeeping priority areas here. So based on the kind of customer feedback that we can get in the results, we can then decide if we should prioritize certain areas in our housekeeping. Next, we move on to the maintenance page. And on the maintenance page, we choose 1 improvement project per round. And those can be done here. Then we decide that based on the facility's condition and also on the facility's satisfaction. So if we see something which is out of regulation, then we should pay attention to that and get it fixed with our improvement project. Maintenance manager focus decision is done here on the right-hand side. And here in the HR section, we make human resources related decisions for our entire hotel and restaurant. First of all, we decide the hotel manager focus from multiple different options. Then we decide what is the staff compensation, and then we decide what is the key personnel compensation policy. And we can also decide about the temporary staff policy, and then the training policy for our permanent people. We can see the number of personnel that we have for each of the different departments. Then we can see the skill levels, and we can also estimate the skill levels for the different staff groups. So if we invest in training, then potentially we can expect the skill levels to go up. That's why we have these estimation options available here. And then the next page is about the staff satisfaction, where we can see my own team in green compared to the market average in blue. And then there's a summary of the labor costs for all the different departments. And here the procurement is the last page in our decision-making process. And here we can see all the different ingredients that we are planning to sell in our dishes. And then the system calculates our need for pre-ordering. If we want to pre-order, that's up to us. We can also see if we have any of these items in the readily available in the inventory. In the case of fresh vegetables, we are expecting to need 50 kilos, and we haven't pre-ordered anything, so we are 100% out of these items. So I could then say that I want to pre-order 50 kilos, and then I take care of the entire demand. So assuming that my sales estimation is accurate, then I have taken care of my procurement to the best of my abilities. If I don't have enough ingredients, so I sell more than what I have estimated, and the cost for those ingredients is about 50% higher. On the other hand, there are multiple items which have high spoilage risk. So everything that's indicated with this type of symbol is going to be subject to spoilage. And if we have excess inventory, then we start seeing higher rates for spoilage. So you need to be careful with your pre-ordering and your sales estimations in general. Projections page has one more tab, which we haven't looked at yet. It's the projected income statement for our entire hotel and restaurant operation. So here on the right-hand side, we can always see the previous round, and then current round is available here. So it's easy for us to compare. Last round, we had 15,000 profit, and this round with the current decisions and estimations, we are expecting to have about 11,000 profit. And these figures for the current round are always changing. Whenever you change something here, you can see those outcomes reflected in this pro forma statement for this round. Last page under the decision section is the checklist, and the checklist shows you how different members in your team have been making the decisions and estimations. So now in this case we have 5 members in our team. I have been operating now under Sean Wood's decision area, so this is green first of all, indicating that this is where I am at the moment, and then this shows my profit estimation for the round. And overall change in sales is expected to be slightly negative. Other team members have yet not done anything, but as soon as they start making their decisions, we can see what the profit expectation and sales is there. We can also compare all the different team members' decisions side by side here. Go button means that I'm going to be able to step into the decision-making area of somebody else. So if I want to go inside Sylvia's account and see how she's been operating these decisions, I'm able to do that by clicking this go. And then whenever I click here, I'm operating this account as Sylvia herself. Copy as team decisions is the button that then moves the decisions from this particular column to the team column. So now if we as a team, we decide that we copy everything as team decisions from Sean, we click here, and then it's asking us to confirm, and then everything that was in Sean's column is now moved to the team column, and this is what we will be using at the time of the deadline to calculate the results for the team. If I still want to make changes, I can click go here, and then any changes throughout these pages will be automatically recorded as the team decision. The import button may or may not be visible for you. It may have been disabled entirely, but if it's visible, then it means that you are able to import decisions from somebody else's column to your column. So for example, if I click import under Sylvia, then anything from Sylvia's column is going to be moved to my column, and then I would be able to start working based on Sylvia's decisions. Now, this concludes our review of the decisions section, and then we go into the results section where we can see multiple different reports where different teams are presented side by side. We can analyze our own performance, and we can benchmark against the competitors. From this drop down, we are always able to move from one round to another. So if we are playing round 5, then we can always go back earlier rounds. By clicking this XLS, we can download the results as an Excel file, and then with the print symbol, we can print these. For example, you can print them as a PDF output that you can then use later the way that you wish. And then there are also some charts available. And this concludes our review of the decision-making interface and the results section. Thank you very much for your attention, and have fun with cesim simulation.